Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Dafook Boom, as promised, released today the full version of episode 72 with an extra scene. And before it came out, I was expecting to see a scene that wasn't that important to the plot, but as it turns out, he managed to cram a very important plot twist into those 37 seconds. And no, I'm not talking now about the scientists taking Astro Toilet's hand to investigate it, although that's also an important topic and we'll discuss that today. We're talking about the mysterious cameraman on the mountain that you can barely see. And if you pay attention, his flashlight is glowing green. And what's even more interesting is that this is far from the first time we've seen this character. Viewers who have been familiar with the series for a long time already understand where I'm going with this, but believe me, I dug even deeper and, traditionally, found a hint of the plot of the future episode. And actually, I wouldn't pay much attention to this cameraman if it weren't for one more detail that almost nobody mentioned, although this detail is almost the most important thing that Dafook wanted to tell us with this scene. In addition to all this, we'll talk about the barely alive cameraman Strider today, and of course, we won't forget about the TV men with their hilarious dialogue. It's been a while since we've had such an intense and interesting extra scene, so put a like under this video if you like these boom gifs as much as I do. And don't forget to subscribe to the Discord server I recently created. My team there regularly do regular posts with interesting details of new episodes before I publish the videos. So if you want to be the very first to know about new secrets, then you're welcome. The link will be in the description. Anyways, here we go. Let's start with the detail I mentioned at the beginning. In order for you to understand my logic and further theory, I will first briefly remind you of something. If you remember, G-Man flew that way, which is the same direction he was going, since he came in at the beginning of episode 72 from the left side and left on the right side. And most importantly, Speakerman Titan flew in the same direction almost immediately, whereupon TV Man Titan told Cameraman Titan if he was ready, to which he replied, "For plunger." And now that you know all that, notice which way he flew. Back when I first watched episode 72, I thought it was odd that he said exactly "for plunger" to the TV man's question, but I didn't pay my attention to it at the time. After all, before that scene came out, almost all viewers, including myself, thought that Cameraman Titan would also go to catch up with G-Man, just like TV Man Titan did with Speakerman Titan. However, now I believe Cameraman Titan wants to find the real culprit in his friend's death. Even though he doesn't know it was the work of a devious secret agent, he wants to punish everyone with all his might until he finds the one. And that's why his phrasing takes on a new color. In my opinion, he went looking for the Astro Toilets, because that's the direction the Astro Juggernaut flew with the damaged Astro Scorpion. And since we were not shown where TV Man Titan flew or teleported to, it is not yet clear who he will join to help Speakerman or Cameraman Titan. But that's not all, folks. I even know why he suddenly decided to go after Astro Toilet specifically, and what does Plunger's death and revenge have to do with it? If you think about it, that phrase doesn't fit with his actions at all. So I'll tell you more about it at the end of the video, but now let's move on to the next topic. And we're going to start with TV men, and we're going to analyze their phrases. And you won't believe this, but it's more difficult than I thought. The thing is that the viewers are divided about what the TV men said. Some say the dialogue was like this. You can listen to it yourself.
This ship is longer than Titan's scope. Get this bitch to the lab.
It doesn't sound very similar to what the TV men say, but this translation of the TV men's speech has started to spread more, as it can be said, official. After all, if you turn on subtitles, this is the text that will be written. Boom used to leave no subtitles at all, by the way, but he has started doing it regularly. And as it seems to me, he wants to confuse us a little, because if you listen to the words, you can hear this version of this dialogue. Here's this version.
This ship is longer than Titan's scope. Get this bitch to the lab.
Though not a popular one, but as far as I'm concerned, it fits the words better. Anyway, write in the comments your opinion which version of the dialogue is correct and which is made for fun. In my case, I stick more to the popular translation and trust the rumor more, as this version makes more sense. Basically, one of the TV man titans is saying that the thing in question scared the TV titans, and the other suggests taking the thing to have it investigated in a lab. And if you remember the scene in episode 70 where Astro Scorpion single-handedly made all 3 TV titans nervous, it's clear where the TV men get their desire to take it to improve their technology. And Cameraman himself changed his hand almost without thinking at all, which also confirms how strong this hand is in representing the Alliance. Further, we can notice that TV men teleported together with the hand. That's why there was so much smoke. By the way, when that smoke disappears to the right, we can see the old Cameraman Titan arm that he threw away. And before we go on, one more fun fact about TV men. If you zoom in on the TV man scientist's pocket, you can see some numbers, but because of the quality, it's almost impossible to make out what it says. However, I, of course, decided to understand what it says, and with the help of artificial intelligence, I was able to increase the quality, and now it is clear that it says EWO 67 in reverse. And I'll remind you that in episode 66, there was the same scientist and it was written EWO 67. And this is the episode when we were first shown the improved TV man Titan, unless you count episode 66, where we only saw his white screen glowing. So most likely, this scientist is in charge of developing technology to improve Titan, since he wears such a robe. So we wait for them to finish researching this arm to introduce some technology to the TV man Titan or other Titans. Well, since he didn't change his robe, we unfortunately don't know in which episode we can expect version 3.0. By the way, I generally think that we are unlikely to see a completely updated global Titan. After all, for that to happen, it would need to be badly damaged and hard lost in some kind of battle. And at this point in time, we can hardly expect such a thing. So I think this improvement will be small and will be done by flying in additional parts. Well, for example, how it was with the TV man Titan speakers when they joined in episode 44, or how Cameraman Titan and Speakerman Titan improved on the move in episode 69. So based on that, we can conclude that TV man Titan will soon have the advantage of Astro Toilets and similar technology. But knowing how ingenious the scientist of the TV men is, he will not only do this, but even improve and augment the old technologies with his new ones. After all this, POV Cameraman hears some loud sound and decides to walk towards it to see who it was. When he reaches the place, it turns out to be a poor Cameraman Strider who is most likely going to die. After all, is completely on fire and his camera is barely glowing. All the more the scientist shows like, which usually symbolizes honor and respect after the death of some of the agents. Especially, it has become popular in recent episodes. We constantly see how, after some grief, they put each other like. If you are also feeling sad, then put like under the video. I will be glad. And at the end, I would like to tell in brief about this mysterious character standing on the mountain. We have already noticed him in one part of 72 episodes, and in GIF animation, in honor of 40 million subscribers. So this is the third time we've seen him. And remember what I said about the connection between this cameraman and Cameraman Titan's decision to go the other way? Well, the thing is, you can tell by the green color of his flashlight that this is one of Defuk Boom's assistants. And the answer to the main question of how this is connected, I already indirectly told in the analysis of part 2 of episode 72 and in the previous video analyzing the GIF animation. However, this scene complemented this old theory, so I'm already preparing new video in which I will detail what will be in 73 episode Skibidi Toilet. So subscribe to the channel not to miss tomorrow's video. And if you haven't watched it yet, check out the past 2 videos to stay up to date with my reasoning. Bye-bye.